welcome to You're Wrong About Musicals. I'm Esme,
I'm Nell.
and today we're going to be talking about High School Musical.
It's going to be a 10-minute episode.
What a classic!
What a classic.
This is one of the last we're putting out before regularly scheduled programming begins again. It has been very all over the place the past couple of months because we've been busy.
Yep.
But that's coming to an end soon, and I don't really want to talk about it because I'm going to have an existential crisis. Who's ready for me to get all existential again?
Yippee! Hamilton the re-up.
Hamilton the re-up is going to be so existential. We have to do Hades and the re-up as well. Well, part of it.
That's going to be existential.
That's going to be so existential, especially because I would have just seen the last Sondheim.
Damn.
But a part of it has been recorded for months. Oh crap, I have to edit that.
Yep.
I need to have a conversation with you about that, actually.
We're on a time crunch here. We have an hour, basically.
Okay, anyway. So we're going to get into the news, a list. Let's get into it. Paddington at the Savoy. I heard this rumour, and I went, sounds like something the West End would welcome with open arms. Also, there is a distinct lack of children's shows at the moment.
We said this when Frozen closed.
We did. I was reminded of it this week, but yeah, we
talked for ages about it when Frozen closed. There are no kid shows in the West End.
No. Or not as many as there are historically.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment...
I guess now,
Oliver's for all.
Yeah.
But, like, I know what you mean, like, no baby's first musical.
Because you have those, like, really kiddie shows. They tend to do them over holidays more than any other time. So they'll come in for, like, a couple weeks. They do them over Christmas a lot.
Yeah, they'll probably do one over summer. It's like the Gruffalo, and it plays, like, at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I like the Haymarket.
Yeah, I once saw the Tiger Who Came to Tea at the Haymarket, I think on my birthday.
Like, it starts at 10 a.m. A swift 90 minutes.
Not even that. I think it's like 60 minutes at most.
But there are those shows, but there's not really any, like, proper musicals for kids.
Disney only... So stupid. But Disney only have The Lion King.
Disney only have a couple.
Only have The Lion King, and guys, Hercules is coming in.
Hercules coming in. I guess I'm Matilda.
We have Matilda, but again, Matilda is like Oliver almost, where it's like anyone will
Yeah. I was excited for Paddington.
Oh, I'm intrigued. I'm actually really intrigued.
I don't think we're going to go out of our way to go see it, but if the opportunity arises.
All I'm saying is we're going to be in London next year.
Yeah.
So the opportunity's probably going to arise.
So if it gets really, really good reviews or really, really bad reviews, we'll probably end up there.
That's how we ended up at Bake Off.
Bake Off changed my life. Today, by the way, I've been in the library, and I found out a week ago that listening to Hamilton while I'm studying actually works.
I love listening to Hamilton so much at the moment.
It fills me with the need to, like, impress my 14-year-old self.
Horrific.
It's horrific, but it works. And I'm like, no, I can't just keep listening to Hamilton while I'm studying because I'm going to associate bad things with Hamilton studying.
Did you turn off your earbuds today?
I went into a private session on Spotify.
I was thinking, like, you were texting me about some stuff you were, like, listening to, and I was like, I can't see it on earbuds.
No, I went into a private session. I listened to the entirety of Be More Chill, and then I was like, fuck, Be More Chill's too good. I can't focus. I'm, like, too into the music. I had to go walk around for a bit. Smartphone Hour started playing, and I left the library. I can't to be outside.
Smartphone Hour came on, and I had to leave.
Smartphone Hour came on, and I had to leave the library.
So funny.
It's so good.
Hamilton, unfortunately, is one of the greatest things ever written.
It really is. And it got so bad, I listened to Dear Evan Hansen to try and get myself to study. And shockingly, it worked.
I have had the thought of, I should listen to Good For You. That's a good song.
Good For You is a great song.
What else was I going to say? Yeah, with that and the Lord release and the fact that, like, uni is coming to an end, I feel 17.
I sent Esme a ridiculous text today.
I feel 17 right now. And I'm only going to make it worse, because I don't think me going to see the last Sondheim musical, which is his most existential yet, a week after I finish university is my smartest idea.
No, it's going to ruin you.
But second row Jane Krakowski.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do anything for Jane.
I think me and Esme have been planning to meet up, and then I don't know if it stayed in the episode. I think we talked about it after we finished recording. We were
Well,
like, let's.
Mean Girls was originally 4 hours. A lot had to be told.
Jesus Christ.
If you couldn't tell, we were full naming people.
Yeah, we were full naming, full addressing.
Full addressing, doxing ourselves, doxing others,
Yeah.
so it all had to be cut.
But we were talking last week about going to go see Hamilton.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then Esme said, oh, what if we see Hamilton and then I go back with you? And we go, there's a musical theatre bar where I live.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at a karaoke place that I go to a lot with my friends.
We've already picked out what songs we're going to do for karaoke.
Yeah. But I was like, what
Do
other
they have
musical
any
songs
jazz?
do they have? They do.
What do they have? Do they have Lover?
They have Lover. So if you're willing to waste 7 minutes of everybody's time to sing Lover, you should have come over with me. We can do it.
That would just be funny to the two of us, though. Like no one else would understand the joke or the levels.
I'm trying to get my sister to come down, and I think if she does, unfortunately, again, as me and my sister should be best friends. I think the three of us should do karaoke together.
We should. We'd be on each other's wavelength.
It'd be great.
I'd have to bust out some video games.
Yeah. But basically, we were talking about going to this musical theatre bar, and then I was looking at karaoke, and I found out they did have some Dear Evan Hansen on the karaoke.
So we can do that drunk.
The plan is now seeing Hamilton, then coming back here to do drinks in a musical theatre bar, and then doing Dear Evan Hansen at karaoke. That's the life my 14-year-old self dreamed about.
I am regressing.
The one they have that I really think we should do. They have Washington on Your Side, and I feel like we could do that. We have a lot of Hamilton.
I know I'm maturing. I think I'm going to cut this because I'm going to save it for our Hamilton episode. I know I'm maturing and my brain's like developed in a very weird way because the coolest part of Hamilton to me is how it gets into the policy making process.
Oh yeah.
And how that's what Act 2 is largely concerned with, and legacy, and not like he cheated on Eliza. It's like, no, Bird doesn't know. We dream in the dark for the most part. No one knows what we trade away. You don't really get to say on what they trade away. Okay, then. Do you want to write for the policy? Anyway.
Anyways. Yeah. We're regressing.
Speaking of crashing out.
Oh yeah.
I haven't read the reviews for Gatsby yet because I'm seeing it semi-soon. Within the next 2 weeks of this episode being out, I will be seeing Gatsby. I will be doing Gatsby Corner from probably the back row of The Great Gatsby. The prophecy is fulfilled, yada, yada, yada. And I am going in with as much of an open mind as I can because that's how I like to go into every show. And I do my best and now can attest to the lengths I will go to go into shows with open minds.
Mm-hmm.
I tried so hard last time.
And the time before that.
What did I do the time?
Mincemeat.
Oh yeah.
We tried to go in really open-minded.
I went in blind. I had barely any preconceived notions other than this is good. Yeah.
Anyways, Gatsby, people are furious that The Guardian got a 1-star review.
The Gatsby is an agent of chaos everywhere it goes.
Love it.
And you have to respect it.
I think it was All That Dazzles, who I respect very much. I love him. Mm-hmm. He put out a tweet earlier today where he was like, he was talking about a podcast episode I did. He was like, who wants to be on it? And I was like, let me switch accounts really quick. So this is a little podcast. No, he was like, even when I've hated a show, I still give it 2 stars. There's always like performances, there's always something to be good. I get that. Like, I do think it's shocking that someone thought it deserved 1 star, given how stacked the cast is.
The one thing that Gatsby has always got right is casting people who can really sing and have pretty voices.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I agree that 1 star feels argumentative.
Also, like...
You know? Like, it feels like you want people to be annoyed with your review.
Yeah, from what I can tell, and I agree, I often really agree with the theatre critic who it was. I, looked at the name and I was like, who the fuck did this? And I was like, I normally really agree with her. I find her to be right on the money a lot of the time. Forgetting her name, I'm blanking on it completely. But I was like, I'm trying to go with an open mind for Gatsby, and I'm aware of how it handles the source material, which is fuck well. However, one thing you cannot say about this production of Gatsby is the set design.
Yeah.
And the costuming. And the
set, costume, and performances.
Yeah. The rest of it, I'm sure I will have actual issues with
Yeah.
once I've seen it. I'm trying to manage my expectations so I'm not annoyed.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think just with those three things alone,
mm.
it should get 2 or 3 stars.
Yeah, you can be like, it's a bad adaptation of the F. Scott Fitzgerald novel,
But it's a fun show.
but you know what? The hydraulics in the car are sick.
Yeah.
But I also think there's been this really interesting debate that's like started to pick up again, and every so often people have it, especially on social media, around theatre criticism
Mm.
and where is the line. And I agree that social media is not the most appropriate place to have these nuanced discussions.
I actually read a really interesting article today about theatre criticism. I was going to send it to you.
Oh, please send it to me because I'm constantly thinking, and that's my issue with the Hadestown review of where is the line?
It was so funny though because she's like talking. It was about the cursed child.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's kind of Harry Potter-esque. But it was so funny because she's talking, she's like, me and my community of theatre reviewers on social media. I was like, what do you mean by that? Who is your community of theatre reviewers?
Cite your sources.
You know, tell me who this is. I'll find it again. It was really funny.
I'm constantly wondering where is the line? Because you know, like obviously we give our thoughts on shows a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly thinking, what is too much?
Yeah. But I think there's a difference between a recreational podcast
and a professional.
and a professional review where the whole purpose is informing people of the show.
Yeah, even like there's a review coming down the pipeline, if you will, that I am like, that might be a bit controversial, but I still think, my memory serves me right, I still think we were fair in it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to give something a bad review, and this is like with Mincemeat, often I feel like what we say about Mincemeat, because we've reflected on our coverage of Mincemeat, believe it or not, where we're like, we've tried to understand where they're coming from. I feel like if you're going to review something, you have to understand where someone's coming from.
Yeah.
And you have to like kind of sit and work out what the point is, and then it's up to you to prove, not to prove, but to almost substantiate what your thoughts are based on what you believe the point to be, and whether or not you think it was an effective way of doing that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. I don't know if I've just been like in academia world for too long where I'm like, I didn't have to.
Oh, almost definitely. I get it. Like, you're allowed to have an opinion. Obviously, we do. We are very bitchy all of the time about shows we don't like. And, like, listen, trust me, I know that Esme's going to drag me to go and see Gatsby.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to like it.
Oh,
let's make that clear. I'm going to hate it.
I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm hoping that I don't like it enough where I'm like, I'm only seeing it once.
Yeah.
Maybe twice if I can go with one of my friends and he will drink a mocktail and I will get slightly tipsy. I mean, I did also see it and I went, did the Sweaty Oracle write this? Did my dad write this? Who I think is getting more and more irate about The Great Gatsby musical every single day. The two of them need to link up and have their conversations about Gatsby.
I was going to send you another one as well, which was so funny. This is all from the same journal, but this one was called Broadway YouTubers and Musical Theatre Fandom.
I need to go in once I have some time next week. I don't talk about it, and go and save a ton of articles about Broadway academic articles, to read when I want to, because I'll lose access in a moment. But I don't know. But the Great Gatsby,
this one's open access.
Amazing. The Great Gatsby has been an agent of chaos since the start. I expect nothing less from it. I was thinking, I missed last year when The Great Gatsby was sponsoring Broadway.
No. Now it's just, like, putting curses on people and getting 1-star reviews.
That was funny as shit, man. The Great Gatsby has given me many chuckles, intentionally or not. And I'm not even seeing the show. I don't have many opinions on the show. I just find the whole, like, circus around it deeply fascinating. You can tell. Next up, My Sons Are Queer, But What Can You Do will finally have its Broadway premiere at New York City Centre.
Hey!
I'm so glad.
This is big. Not a ton to say on it. It feels almost like old news because it was meant to have its premiere so long ago.
Yes.
But I'm so happy it's finally getting it.
I am so happy that it's finally getting it. I'm so happy that it's finally having an American premiere, and I hope after it is able to have a life, maybe off Broadway. Hey,
Yeah,
you know, I am gonna start giving British shows in America the benefit of the doubt post Mincemeat success. Maybe they're ready for it in a post Mincemeat and a post Oh Mary landscape. Maybe they're ready for it.
we can hope.
I'm rooting for it. Next up, Actors on Actors, Broadway edition. Many people have
It's
pointed
not
this
great.
out. Many people have pointed this out. They're like, are they just doing this because it's a ton of A-listers on Broadway this season?
Almost definitely, yeah.
And I was like, yes, almost definitely. Who would have actually been? I saw someone say this, and I was like, this is such a missed opportunity. What the fuck were they thinking? Not pairing them together or not having them on? Megan Hilty and Robin Herder
Yeah.
were both on Broadway in leading roles in shows that are like eligible for Tonys this season. But fundamentally, they've also both are either playing or have played Ivy Lynn. I would watch that.
Was it? They have Darren Chris, whoever he's paired with.
Carlos Goza.
Yeah, that one I'm excited for.
That one, is it out? No, it's not out. Like, I don't really care about George Clooney. I love Patti LuPone and I like watching the clips of her talk, but I don't really care about George Clooney like that. Sorry, George. My granny's a big fan. I'm thinking about getting into ER.
It's fun.
Well, it's the spiritual it's the parent to the pit, my new favorite TV show.
God, don't let her start talking about the pet.
I love the pit. To support former Eurydice's endeavors, I haven't started talking about the summer I turned pretty yet.
God.
Anyway, moving on. Something else massive. M. Platt refollows Molly Gordon.
Oh my God.
I really hope they use their feud or whatever the hell happened in their time of separation and funnel it into making Theatre Camp 2.
I'm gonna rewatch this camp this weekend. I'm gonna take the time out of my busy schedule, and I'm gonna watch Theatre Camp.
In honor of Ben and Molly making up.
Yeah.
Our good friends, Ben and Molly. Noah Galvin hasn't refollowed Molly Gordon, apparently. So I hear.
Cool. When he does, I'm excited.
I haven't done boots on the ground report on this because I have actually been busy. Believe it or not, we have lives. 10 things I hate.
Barely.
Come next week, I'm vibally unemployed. I'm literally floating around just like your unemployed friend on a Tuesday. Vibes to the max.
11 days.
10 things I hate about you. So I forgot that this technically wasn't officially announced. They will be doing a musical adaptation of it with Carly Rae Jepsen. And my homegirl, Lena Dunham. Should I tell you who's doing orchestrations and musical arrangements?
Who, Esme? Who?
My homeboy, Tom Kitts.
My God.
I saw the announcement and I was scrolling through, going, everything works out for me. Everything works out for me. Love you, Lena. There's a Lena Dunham renaissance happening. And then I read Tom Kitts' name and I went, yeah, likely place for him to be. Likely place for my boy Tom Kitt to be. This is in contention to be probably his second or third best work, or fourth. I don't know. Don't sound bad, Tom Kitt. John Proctor's the villain, my new favourite play. Please extend by 2 weeks. Would do the world of good for me. Have had a spirit week. They did some posters. If anyone would like to send me a John Proctor as a villain poster, let me know. Now this, you think would be big news for us? We didn't find this out until a day after it happened.
Yeah.
That's actually how busy we've been. We didn't realise this had happened until a week after, like days after it had happened. Guys, did you guys also not know this? The guy who liked musicals is having a rebound.
It's massive.
Same cast and everything.
It's going to be so good, first of all. Very excited for it.
The production value is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I cannot wait until we do a Star Kid episode.
Yeah,
we keep pushing it back because it's going to take us like 10 hours.
Also, it's like we don't know how we're going to tackle Star Kid.
Yeah. But it is so incredible. The Guided Night Musicals was the thing that really catapulted them into fame.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had a Harry Potter musical and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that wasn't like their big thing.
It wasn't.
The Guided Night Musicals was.
It wasn't wholly original, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because then you have stuff like Firebringer, which gets referenced a lot. And Trail to Oregon, which gets referenced a lot.
Yeah, but they're not referenced in their whole, if that makes sense.
Yeah, little bits of it are well known.
Yeah, like I don't want to do.
Guided Night Musicals went viral.
Yes.
Like, it feels weird talking about it like that, but it really did. It was 2018. People loved it.
I realized, though,
What?
we're a part of a generation we were a part of a generation of teenagers that fundamentally does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I realized that this week, and it kind of threw me.
You're having a rough week
I am. I'm
for like
having a really
realizations.
existential week. Also, my fridge broke, which pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think I'm very excited to see them remount it with
Mm.
like basically. I'm not going to say unlimited budget because I know it's not.
It's not, but they have more. They have more awareness now.
Yeah, significant. And also, I know it has been, holy shit, how many years?
Six,
6?
7,
Yeah,
maybe
7.
around.
Around then, over 5. So they are going to have to relearn it. But I think it's also fundamentally they do know the story already. So I think they can have a lot more fun with it.
Also, it's Lauren Lopez directing. That's fun. I was like, good for
And it's
her.
Will Branagh is
Yeah,
Higgins.
Will Branagh is because I was like, who have they got to cast this? And I was like, oh, look, it's everyone the same. Who's playing Higgins?
This may send me a video on TikTok the
Realized I
other
was
day.
so tired and out of it.
She was like,
Like,
"Oh, I think this might be helpful for your dissertation if you want to listen to what this guy's saying." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, send it over. I'll take anything I can get my
it
hands
was
on."
a week before my disc was in. I was
Yeah,
off in
she was
La
like, in fairness, not her fault at all. But she tells me about it while we're recording.
And then like a day later, I'm like, oh shit, this is the video I meant to
Yeah,
send to
a
you.
day later, she's like, "Oh, by the way, here it is." And I open it up, and who do I see but disgraced Star Kid actor Robert Mannion talking to me about Suzanne Collins?
I checked the comments before, and he wasn't like no one was like, oh crap, that's the guy from Star Kid.
That's so funny. Mannion.
I love it when I get to jump scare you instead of you jump scaring me.
Oh, I know. I'll get you back.
Oh, I know you will. That's the issue. You always get me back.
Anyways, yeah. We
Okay.
still haven't watched Cinderella's Castle. We've been too busy, so we need to watch it.
In all fairness, it came out on one of the busiest weeks.
Yeah, we were preoccupied. But I'm very excited for Don't Let Musicals remount. Let's buy a digital ticket. This will be the year.
Who knows, man? Gypsy Death becomes her cast recording.
Massive.
Been listening to both. Very good, very good, very good. Outer Critics Circle Drama Desks nominations because we are in awards season. It may not feel like it. It doesn't feel like we're in awards season.
They felt really spaced out this year.
I don't know because last year was just so chaotic, and it was like nothing was particularly outstanding. There was
Yeah.
just so much.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, everything's like good,
Mm.
which makes it sound like I'm being bitchy, but you know what I
As we
mean.
just established, we're not bitches.
You know what I mean? But like, it just felt like there was so much of everything, and no one could really work out how they felt about any of it. I mean, Jesse Green is still off on his own planet, but there seems to be more of a consensus this year. That's probably the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
My thoughts for the Tony Awards is not seeing any of the shows, but one, finally seen a show that's like the Tonys this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same cast and everything. It's gonna be very interesting to see where Mincemeat, take a shot, and Sunset Boulevard end up because it's the first time in a while, I want to say, that we have two British musicals in like for revival and original musical, which are up for Tony Awards.
Yeah. Which I feel like stand a proper chance.
Yeah, stand a proper chance. I mean, Six was a contender, but it was going to Strangely. Strangely won the Pulitzer.
Yeah.
This feels like I still hand on heart don't believe that they will ever give another British musical a Tony unless it's like the second coming of Hamilton.
Yeah.
But Sunset,
But Sunset was good.
like, I think they might give Sunset Best Revival over Gypsy.
I'm scared. I will say, I feel like let's keep this chat to a minimum because we are just doing Tonys next week.
We are doing Tonys next week. Can I just say one more thing? I'm manifesting it.
Okay.
If Sunset Sweep happens, Grace Hodgett Young for Best Featured Actress.
Tammy Faye, Best Lighting.
I've given up on that.
Nope.
I've jumped ship to Grace Hodgett Young. Oh, full serious, Grace Hodgett Young.
Full serious, Tammy Faye, best lighting knob.
I know you're full serious about that, but
I need it to win. I don't
I'm
even need it to
going,
win. I need to get nominated.
I'm going Rule Britannia, Grace Hodgett Young.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, I do have a lighting one.
Yeah.
Best lighting, John Proctor's the villain. For play.
Fuck, that is good. I think it will win, but Tammy Faye needs the knob.
Different categories. Broadway does it better, where they
That's true.
separate plays and musicals like sensible people.
I got too used to the Oliviers just fucking everything up.
Anywho, Hades Town has had some on Broadway has had some casting changes due to illness, which is very upsetting. I don't know why I sounded like that. Hay fever is kicking in. It's obviously very upsetting when someone has to cut their run short. Hope Hayley Kilgore feels better soon. Love her. Very excited for Casey Delacruz. I believe that's her name.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then 2 returning Hades.
And then 2 returning Hades, my boy Philip Boykin, who was great in Hades Town when we saw him. Love it. And I forgot the name.
True.
But at the moment, it's Philip Boykin.
Let me find him.
Shout out to
Sorry.
Philip Boykin. His job is just being Hades, and we love him for it.
Philip Boykin and Matthew Patrick Quinn.
Can't speak on his performance, not seen it, but I have seen Philip Boykin's, and I rather enjoyed it. Time to talk about High School Musical. I always said guy didn't like musicals.
If only. Let's speed run this.
We can speed run this.
Half an hour.
I don't think half an hour. 45 minutes.
Okay. Let's go quick.
High School Musical is a movie written by Peter Broscoli.
Okay, already screwing this up. We can't hesitate that long.
Broscoli and directed by Kenny Ortega.
Love of my life.
Kenny Ortega directed one of my favorite episodes of Gilmore Girls. They shoot Gilmores, don't they? They've got dancing in it, so they had to bring in the dancing guy.
Exactly.
There was this great oral history by Variety which was done like a couple years ago. And so I've used that as most of my research because it is the thing I keep forgetting about High School Musical because it is such a cultural landmark. It is a fundamentally a made-for-TV movie. Like
fuck all happens.
Like I remember watching it like as a 13-year-old, as you watch High School Musical when you're 13 for the first time since I was like a literal child, and being like, oh, I thought more happened, and because I got them confused with the other two in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, no, it is just all about this callback, isn't it? Love it though. If the plot sounds vaguely familiar, it's because High School Musical plays like a lovingly kitschy mashup of Romeo and Juliet and Grease. Peter Braccioni, I'm butchering that name, so sorry, King. The film's screenwriter admits to borrowing the concept of the star-crossed lovers.
Keeney?
Yes. In the world of East High, jocks and math geeks are replaced with the Capulets. Replaced the feuding Capulets and Montagues. We did what everyone else does when you have an idea. You rip off Shakespeare.
True.
Admitting it. It's either that or Greek mythology. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yet a backstory has heavily inspired by his own upbringing, and in all-boys Catholic high school, one day the star athlete confronted his dark secret. I'm going to tell you something, and if you tell anyone, I'll kill you, the friend whispered. I've always wanted to be a ballet dancer so much.
That's incredible.
It's not the kind of skeleton that would make kids today flinch, but back then, he recalls, it would have turned the school upside down. High School Musical loyalists know the story served as influence behind Troy Bolton, the basketball jock MVP, has a secret passion for harmonizing. Other small tidbits from his life were woven into the script, including the name of his 10-year-old daughter, Gabriella, and Sharpay, meanwhile, was named after a dog that once stunk his choppers into him. Seems nice, but she bites. Few details were changed from the original script. It was the one and only time in Braccioni's career. I can't say.
Watching you skip over it every time you could. Barsakini.
Brasakini.
Bar.
Sir.
Keeney.
Teeny. Brashakini.
That might also be wrong, but
who knows? But
I'll look it up.
I'm tired.
Keep reading, I'll look it up.
career, and executives greenlit the first draft. One request from Boss Shakini, so sorry, dude, where they're aging up the soon-to-be stars. Disney wanted the film set in middle school, not that middle school musical would have the same ring. However, Brashkini offered the audiences around the age of his preteen daughter want to look down the road and not where they're at today. Also, casting directors Natalie Hart and Jason La Perda embarked on an arduous mission of one that involved multiple callbacks and auditioning hundreds of young actors before finding the lovable starlets to play Troy, Gabriella, and the others of East High Wildcats. We ran auditions as if we were doing a Broadway musical. We put the kids through a really long process. The agents would call casting directors saying, "What's going on? Why are you keeping them for so long?" I was set on making sure the actors had what it takes. From day one, the vision was clear. In our very first meeting, Kenny said, "This has the potential to be this generation's Grease." And it is!
And it's better.
Grease makes no fucking sense.
High School Musical has heart.
High School Musical has spirit.
Go Wildcats!
Grease is a hollowed out version of itself at
Yeah.
the moment.
I mean, the songs in Grease slap.
Don't get me wrong. I often find myself bopping to Grease, but when you sit down and watch Grease, like a production of Grease, it feels just like this hollowed out parody of itself. I have seen Grease in the past year and a half, so I can say that. He really wanted people who had a strong singing, acting, and dancing abilities. The casting process took around 2 months. In the time Hart estimates they saw the world, some were immediately eliminated because they couldn't sing. Others, like Zac Efron, fun fact, guys, and Drew Sweetley, Hunter Parrish, moved to the top of the pack as potential Troys. Hart and Laperda had previously cast Zac Efron, then 18, on the WB. I missed the WB drama Summerland, and brought them in after hearing he could carry a tune. They recognized Vanessa Hudgens from the sci-fi movie Thunderbirds, and were familiar with Ashley Tisdale from her breakout role in Disney's Channel's show Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. When we first met Zac, stop your grinning, save it for a moment. We're going to talk about it. We get to talk about it. We get to talk about that episode.
Oh my god, perfect.
I cackled out loud when I read that.
How many pages is this?
3.
Do you know? Chill, okay.
I just have some bullet points written down for something I want to talk about as well.
Yeah, that's chill.
When we first met Zac, we felt like he had a quality that's like what we call matinee idol. He was stunning, he wasn't too cocky, and there was something which isn't something you'd find in young people. He had an accessibility. We knew he was capable of being a leading man. They similarly felt Hudgens had that it factor, and being made to portray Gabriella in a bookish and beautiful brainiac who fears to be known as the school's freaky genius girl. For what it's worth, Gary Marsh, president and executive order of Disney's branded television, who headed Disney Channel worldwide. You know when corporate people are like, "This is what I do," and it's like, what does that actually mean? That's what I feel like. I've just read that. Was immediately impressed. It's easy to say in hindsight, but when they auditioned together, it was clear that it wasn't even a close call. We saw their chemistry between them and were sold. And then they went on for a whole other paragraph to explain how 2 teenagers had chemistry together.
Jesus.
And how they were
get it.
dating on the set. We know it. This was written in 20. But Seeley didn't get the part. He would later make his mark on the film's music. Efron had plenty of charisma and charm, but internally there was a concern about his vocal prowess. They didn't think his voice was strong enough to be in it, with Seeley ending up recording the vocals for Troy and Efron lip-synced throughout the movie, as though someone else was singing. They thought they were going to use Zac's voice, but they felt Drew was a stronger singer. It became a success. When it became a success, they had Zac taking voice lessons. Efron's singing voice was eventually used in subsequent sequels. Yeah, and then they told Zac Efron to say it was his voice. Just be like, yeah, pretend it's your voice, dude. The part of Troy's best friend Chad went to Corbin Blue, who originally auditioned for Ryan. Meanwhile, the 20-year-old Lucas Grabeel, who'd starred on the Disney original movie Halloween Town High, was working at Blockbuster, originally read for Troy. Ortega liked Gabriel's energy, but suggested he was better suited for Sharpay's theatre-loving brother Ryan. Gabriel remembers asking Ortega, "Is Ryan gay? How do you want me to play this?" Ortega, who
Of
was
course he's gay. What are you talking about? Of
2007, baby,
course he was gay.
6.
All existed then.
They did exist, but did they exist on the Disney Channel?
Yes.
Well, yeah, Lucas was there. Kenny Ortega, who is openly gay, and he never wanted to explicitly mention.
See.
Huh?
See.
Kenny Ortega.
Oh my, I love Kenny Ortega. I actually did not know he was gay. I like him even more now.
I felt like I knew that because it was like one of those fun facts.
It makes sense. But
So, again, he directed one of my favorite episodes of Gilmore Girls, so I'm always indebted to him. Never wanted to give explicit mention to Ryan's sexual orientation. I wanted a gay character, but I knew I had to be careful. I never shared that part of myself in high school. Times were different. I told Lucas it wouldn't be something Ryan acted on in high school. I didn't want him to be a stereotype. Hey,
I don't know.
I like what you're saying, but I fear Lucas has become a stereotype.
I feel like little gay boys around the world started to emulate
Well, he would go on.
Ryan.
He would go on to say it was something Ortega achieved, in turn offering many teens someone to look up to and emulate. Without having to say he's gay, many young gay kids reached out to me and say, "Thank you for giving us Ryan Evans."
Amen.
Isn't there that thing of like Ryan and Chad switch costumes?
Oh yeah, Ryan and Chad fuck in the second movie. I mean, I don't. At the end of I Don't Dance, they're in each other's.
They're in each other's costumes for some fucking.
Ryan and Chad fuck in the second High School Musical movie.
Again,
That's a thing that happens.
This is a fucking TV movie that people are still dissecting all these years later. It's fascinating to me. Like American Idol, another musical phenomenon that existed around the same time, High School Musical would play to tweens, teens, and their parents. One of the reasons many people took off was because parents could watch it with their kids without cringing. People will be critical of the phony Disney version of a family, but it's what we set out to do. Ortega asserts that the messaging helped the film catch fire. It was be fearless, don't stick to the status quo. Brocchini?
Yeah, Boschini.
Moschini knew that it had infectious tunes, and the promise of a heartthrob like Efron would make High School Musical an easy sell for girls. Convincing boys to watch it would be different, so they placed the movie's numerous musical numbers very deliberately, careful not to scare away any of the dudes with a break into musical. This is very smart. When they broke it down for me, I was like, oh, bro, that's really smart. It was such a conscious decision to make the first song a karaoke number, a start of something new. We fought to fool them into watching the musical. The second is gotta get your head in the game at a guy's number in the gym. When it became a musical, they didn't know they were watching a musical.
High School Musical. I fear.
They might have been watching Lizzie McGuire, and it comes on.
I mean, I think if they wanted to get away with it more, given the title of the film, they should have introduced the fact that the school was going to put on a musical a lot earlier into the plot before two songs had happened.
Yeah.
Because then you can be like, oh, it's called High School Musical because they're doing a musical in high school. Wrong.
Well, they're singing.
They're singing. No, I think that does make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So they're tricking you into it.
I mean, we've lost the art of watching TV and just like letting whatever plays.
Yeah.
That's how I got into so much shit as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching iCarly for the first time because it was on after SpongeBob. Who would I be if I hadn't have watched iCarly that day? Don't answer that question. I don't want to know. The first full-fledged musical number in the scene came at the request of executives who suggested turning the standard cafeteria scene into a splashy song and dance. It became Stick to the Status Quo, a catchy anthem about the struggle of having your own voice and conforming to peer pressure. An athlete who wants to make mean creme brulee. Say it ain't so. David Lawrence, who composed the film, wrote a song with his wife and producing partner, Faye Greensburg. Since High School Musical had expedited production schedule, separate songwriters have been commissioned to pen the rest of the breakout tunes, like Breaking Free and What I've Been Looking For. In the old days, movie musicals were cinematic reproductions of what they were on Broadway. Original tales with 2 to 4 years of crafting and creating from producers. High School Musical was done the opposite. We had very little time. They knew they had to end with a bang. One team, the team came up with a feel-good number called "Everyone's a Winner" to close out the film. Boy, I'm so glad they didn't go with that. Um, Disney's the Disney Channel's Marsh remembers having one of those notes. I love the song, I hated the hook. Why can't we come up with something that feels a little less cheesy? As a result, they came back with a rewritten chorus and a new title. We're all in this together. The
What a
world would
song.
be very different without it. I know the choreography for that. Like everyone else my age,
Yeah.
I know the choreography to We're All in This Together. It is very cheesy, but pry it out of my cold dead hands.
I
Um,
think the other one I still know a lot of the Teen Beach movie choreography.
Same.
I think I could do Cruising for a Bruising pretty easily.
Fucking love Cruising for a Bruising. Falling
What a
for You?
song. Oh my God. Let me look and see if they have Teen Beach movie on karaoke.
Oh, please. The cast grew very close during the weeks. It took weeks to shoot this film. Cinematic masterpiece done in weeks. In Salt Lake City, Utah. We know.
A really fun fact is I have a family friend who
Oh,
works at East High.
yeah. Do you know what they did during the filming of the series?
What? Tell me.
No, no, no. Do you know what they? Because I think they actually filmed in Utah for the
Yeah,
series.
yeah, yeah.
So
They
what?
would film it during school holidays. And then sometimes they'd have some of the school kids be extras if they weren't filming in holidays. I'll let you know they only have Cruising for a Bruising. I feel
Okay,
like we
that's
could
fine.
do that.
That's enough. Dig
We have a
over.
lot of High School Musical though, I will say, because we've done it a
Amazing,
lot. This karaoke place,
amazing.
we keep singing High School Musical.
That's all I need. I need to do a Sharpay song,
Oh my God, absolutely.
of course. Bonding over rigorous vocal training and dance rehearsals. Musical numbers were regularly granted 2 to 3 days to perfect and capture on camera. Gabriel recalls practicing We're All in This Together approximately 10,000 times before shooting it. The secret to dancing with a baseball in Gotta Get Your Head in the Game, never be apart from it, Blue advises. I had the basketball with me everywhere, everywhere. I slept with it. Back at the Disney lot, excitement was starting to generate about as the movie came together. The first positive indication came from the dailies, industry jargon of unedited footage that was collected each day back to the executives. By then, they had arrived in the form of cassette tapes. They were like contraband people wanted to get their hands on. Slowly, buzz was starting to internally rise. For all of its runaway success and enduring popularity, executives at Disney weren't confident in High School Musical. They felt it was a big risk by having a $2.4 million budget.
0.2.
2.2, sorry.
4.2.
Oh, it's a
You
long
got this.
day. Let it
One
out.
more week. One more week.
Sounds like you're a Trump supporter going, one more time, one more.
One more time. From 2028.
God, we're all gonna die, aren't we?
Yep.
Um,
Anyways, let's move on.
let's move on. That's not to say that they didn't like the movie. It was a big risk, obviously, but they were gonna pull it off. Girlies, you were gonna make that back in Zac Efron dolls. I had a
Yeah,
Zac Efron doll as a child. Everyone did.
I believe I did too. I had East High cheer uniforms to dress
So
up
did
in.
I.
God, God, I got to pull those back out.
We had a we had one of those like kid coffee table books.
Oh my God.
And like I remember for Gabriella's page, it had a piano, even though I don't think she played the piano.
No, she
I just
definitely
have such a
didn't.
vivid memory of it. And we also had a Chad doll.
I
Like
think I used to have their like karaoke mics.
I have some like pretty niche childhood memories associated with this franchise, which I think do I share now or share? I'll share our thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
I remembered
Let's
something
speed through
so
this.
specific about it. Anyway, saying that's not to say we didn't like the movie. Obviously, it was a notoriously tricky to pull off, especially if they're original and not adapted from a well-known Broadway show. You have to understand, nobody wanted to touch musicals on television. That's the important thing to learn about High School Musical. It was taboo. Conventional wisdom says they don't generate ratings. People get bored and are not into musicals. Disney were taking a big chance. The week before it premiered, everyone got cold feet. It was the most money the Disney Channel had ever spent on a television movie. Ortega admits he was getting nervous, but it would be the highest rating telecast for the Disney Channel, with 7.7 million viewers in the States alone, only being topped by High School Musical 2, which came out the next year in 2007, with 17 million people.
Ridiculous.
Synopsis time.
So this is the stage synopsis,
Yeah, I couldn't find
I'm
my
guessing.
synopsis because everyone just said the whole entire plot because it's not actually a
Yeah.
lot.
Disney Channel's smash hit movie musical comes to life on your stage. Chloe, Gabriella, and the students of East High must deal with the issues of first love, friends, and family while balancing their classes and extracurricular activities. In some ways, I suppose so.
On the other hand, it is culture.
Yeah. High School Musical is more than a movie. It's a lifestyle,
It is a way of life for a lot of us.
and I'm living it.
And I'm living proof of the High School Musical franchise.
It's what are my thoughts on High School Musical? I love it. We've done the stage show of it.
Yeah. I didn't, but yeah. Our school did.
What happened in the High School Musical? We did. As in, I know what happened. I know the plot of High School Musical. I'm trying to think of any fun cast stories. They told us it was going to be a like double cast, but then
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't.
Classic.
They only cast the year 10s, and then the next year they were like, "We'll only cast the year 10s to make it up to you guys because no year 9s got cast."
And we didn't.
And then they double cast in the next year.
Yeah.
It was fun. I remember. Do you know the YouTube channel that does like it's called like bad lip syncs. That's probably what it's called. But they do bad lip syncs.
Yeah.
And they have the Seagulls Stop It Now one, which is for Star Wars. They had bad lip reading. That's what it's called. Yeah, they have a High School Musical one.
Yeah.
And it's really funny.
Okay.
But they have a song in it when they're doing when it's oh my god.
What?
Sorry, they have a Hamilton bad lip reading that I've just seen. Big news. Yeah, they have a song they do instead of Get Your Head in the Game. I remember one day when we were doing mic check, the guy playing Troy just sang that instead.
Our drama
And
teacher probably hate that.
drama teachers was fine. Our music teacher,
Oh my god, was that before she had her mental breakdown?
yes, I believe so.
Oh, I miss her sometimes. I wonder if she's still there.
She didn't have her mental breakdown until we stopped doing musicals.
Well, we stopped doing musicals because she had a mental breakdown. We should know about her mental breakdown, but she was posting
No,
on her public Instagram.
wrong. We stopped doing musicals because of COVID.
Well, no, because they were supposed to do Grease in the February, but then her husband cheated on her.
Then her husband cheated on her, and
She
so we
posted
didn't do
all of
Grease.
this on her public Instagram, by the way.
Apparently, she went to the same like salon as one of my friends, and they had the same hairdresser, and her hairdresser like told her about it.
Well, no, because I swear she had a public Instagram as well.
She did, and she would continuously talk about it on her public Instagram, and she would continuously talk to all of her form groups about it.
And her
just
her GCSE class.
Yeah, she did keep telling people about how her husband cheated on her.
And we also knew her husband because he would help on the musicals and teach music class and teach like music classes. So he was like a known entity in the school. And yeah. I remember she told me that when I was like the class that in year 8, she's like, I've had you for a year now, guys. Let me tell you some more about my life. And we were all just sat there like, okay, lady. Okay.
Gosh, she was hilarious.
She was always dressed like she was coming from a rave in the 90s. She like used to walk around town and you just see her about in the local area. You don't normally see people about in the local area, but you'd always see her about in the local area with a dog strapped to her. Now I'm a bit of a crazy dog lady, but I'm not that much.
She was iconic.
I would like to
queen
out with her. She was insane in the best way. Like looking back on it, I wish I could have appreciated her absurdity a bit more.
Oh yeah. I'm really trying to remember what I did in High School Musical. Fuck all. I remember doing
Only hung out in the library quite a bit.
A lot. I remember doing Stick to the Status Quo.
Yeah,
as a song. I remember doing that. To be fair, the more and more I think about it, really not an ensemble piece.
It feels like it is, and I think that's why people do it.
But it's actually really not.
But it's actually the Troy and Gabriella show. Although the role you probably want is Sharpay.
I wanted Sharpay. I think I auditioned for Sharpay.
Now let me talk about my girl Sharpay, because we go way back.
Ashley Tisdale.
Fun fact about me. I don't think you know this. I just remembered this today. I don't know how, but you know how they focus group movies?
Yes.
You know how there's the Disney offices in Hammersmith?
Yeah.
This is really vivid memory of going to the Disney offices in Hammersmith when I was like 7 or 8 and being shown a pre-release version of Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure,
That's incredible,
and
first of
then
all.
being brought into a room full of snacks with a Disney executive and us having to tell him what we thought about the movie. And then I got paid, me and my sister, we got paid 25 quid. Yeah. Yeah. And we
Holy
got
shit.
and we got a name tag from Disney
That's
and it
really
had like
fun.
Mickey Mouse on it, like the cartoon, like Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse on it.
Damn.
And then I spent my hard-earned money from Sharpay from watching Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure before everyone else. Yep, yep, yep. Um, on a Build-A-Bear.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. So me and Sharpay Evans go way back actually.
That's crazy.
It is, and I forget about it. And then when I was putting this together, I remembered it. I was like, holy crap, I got paid to watch Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure when I was
What
like
I wouldn't give to get paid to go watch Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure.
I've been built for this life since the beginning. I think my opinions. What's my other one? Oh, High School Musical 3 was the first film I ever saw in cinemas.
That's so cute.
I know. So yeah, me and High School Musical, we go way back.
Apparently, the first film I ever saw in cinemas was Charlotte's Web, and me and my sisters hated it so much we started crying in the middle because
Me
it
and
was
my
sad.
oh god, me and my friend. I don't know if it was the first film I saw in cinemas. It's the first one I remember seeing in cinemas because me and my friend had to go like to the loo in the middle of it, and we missed The Boys Are Back in Town. So
That song.
now whenever I watch the movie, I forget that The Boys Are Back in Town is in it because I went to the loo when I first saw it. Yeah. High School Musical is so funny because it's just one of those things that we don't let go of as a culture. I feel like as we get older and older, we refuse to let it die.
One of my housemates,
Yes.
he's a great guy, like genuinely loveliest guy I know.
Uh-huh.
I always know when he's planning to like go out.
Yeah.
He doesn't like go out clubbing or drinking that much, it's not really his style. I always know when he's planning to go out because through the floor I hear him start playing The Night of Nights from High School Musical 3.
Oh my God, The Night of Nights.
It's the night of nights.
Nights.
All right. He always plays it as he's getting ready to go out, and so I know that he's going out.
I mean, even with the tariffs, which is the crazy thing I'm about to say, but people have been like clipping, I Want It All. Is that the one?
Yeah.
No, that's not the one. That's one from
No.
Fabulous. Fabulous is my
Yeah.
simple request. And being like, go the tariffs.
She's gonna be hit so hard by the tariffs.
And it's also like conversations around Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron and Ashley Tisdale, especially Zac and Vanessa, my dear friends, don't know them, would probably freak out a bit if I ever met them because boy. They're still centered around High School Musical to an extent.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sorry, my brain is fried. I had a thought and now I've forgotten it.
That's been
Give
my
me a
life
second.
the past couple months, it feels like.
Speaking of keeping High School Musical in the kind of public conscious, was it Drew Gooden?
A little boy drowned in the pool.
Yeah. And so now that's going around again, which is just High School Musical again.
That's the thing.
What's up, guys? I'm 16. I'm a new player on the basketball team.
I can't
I'm really
work
excited
out
to play.
whether or not it's just people our age and older, because I don't think people much younger are that interested in High School Musical, who just refuse to let it die, or whether or not the kids actually care about High School Musical.
I don't make much of a habit of talking to kids. I can ask at work.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean by the kids.
Yeah.
But, is it the reason why it's in the cultural zeitgeist is because we are talking to other people our own age, so it feels like it's never left the cultural zeitgeist because it's never left our hearts? Or is it just generally massive?
I think it was massive.
I can see
it's the kind of thing of I think my parents hold the conversation very easily about High School Musical as well.
Yes.
Because I made them watch it.
Because we had so much memorabilia.
I think that's the thing of like, I'm pretty sure I probably donated all of my old High School Musical stuff to like the preschool down the street from me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
there are probably kids who have got some like really distorted High School Musical karaoke mics in there.
Yeah.
And then they're going home, they're like, Mum, what the fuck is this from? I'm
I
just like,
think,
sit down. We're watching it.
I mean, I had this really crazy thought when I was putting this together, which I believe to be actually kind of true. Without High School Musical, pop music is fundamentally very different.
Yeah.
Because I learned this. Hannah Montana was commissioned after the success of High School Musical, therefore launching Miley Cyrus.
Mm.
More recently, because for some reason they decided actually it's half decent. The High School Musical, the series.
It's not too bad. Olivia Rodrigo.
It gave us also Julia Lester, who I don't feel like I talk about
Yeah.
how great she was in Into the Woods. Oh my god. But also Olivia Rodrigo. Driver's License doesn't blow up in the way Driver's License blows up. If it
Without
was
High School Musical.
The musical, the series.
Incredible.
And it blows my brain that a Disney Channel original movie is this culturally significant and this much of a touchstone, not only to musicals and how our generation receives musicals, if that makes sense.
Mm.
People singing has never been a foreign entity to us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's never been that far from the cultural consciousness, so it doesn't really surprise how much in having the moment it did. Never. The longer and longer I think about it, it doesn't surprise me because one, Hamilton's fucking amazing, and two,
Yeah.
we were kind of ready for a bona fide musical to come along.
Yeah.
I have some things about like someone actually sat down and wrote out all of the different ways that it's influenced culture.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like a page. But in 2006, Disney broke away from this trend immediately. Not only was it rare for a Disney Channel movie aimed at teens and tweens rather than kids, also, we have the birth of the tween with this.
Crazy.
Like, tweens being a marketable age group. I'm writing an essay right now about how childhood is like socially constructed. Tweens, capitalism's fault.
Most things are.
Rather than kids. It was one of the relatively few times that it boasted its own soundtrack. We'll get to the impact of that soundtrack in a moment because I did some chart analysis. It was integrated into the story rather than be like, and then it was also played on the radio instead, performed by characters emphasizing their feelings and intentions through songs. Efron and Hudgens became overnight celebrities. He got a Rolling Stone profile. She had to apologize for her private racy photos being leaked. I love early 2000s culture so much. It didn't destroy women's lives. Disney poured money into expanding the franchise, investing in international High School Musical remakes, localized versions of music videos, creating entirely new Hindi soundtrack, and even creating 3 separate variants of the new Spanish language film. High School Musical, I'm not going to say that, it's bracketed as The Challenge, for Argentinian, Brazilian, and Mexican audiences. Time reported in 2008 that the franchise had reaped nearly 700 million in soundtrack and merchandise sales. I mean, we've just discussed how much of this shit we had.
Yeah.
We weren't like crazed High School Musical people. I think we even had like bedding.
Oh, yeah, I definitely have bedding. I think I still have towels.
Yeah, like, why were we all buying that shit?
Because it slapped.
Because it did slap. The third movie, High School Musical 3, leveled up to a major theatrical release in 2008 and grossed $250 million at the box office. The stage version of High School Musical, the one that is now featured in the new TV series, it was written for this article was written in preparation for the TV series, appeared in 2009 and instantly became widely performed. It's still performed to this day. Regional theatres seriously put it on. It toured. My sister went to the tour when it played the event of Apollo.
Crazy.
I was cast too young to go, and I've never let it go since. She brought back a little dance mat, High School Musical, again, something they made. After High School Musical 2, numerous decoms were savvily marketed as vehicles for their burgeoning pop stars. Again, influence on pop music. With significant stars having a launch pad, such as Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers in Camp Rock. Withers and Waverly Place movie, which similarly served as a star vehicle, Selena Gomez. And in 2011, the spin-off focused on Ashley Tisdale's Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. Classic. I helped in the marketing.
Ooh.
Above all, the new focus on targeting teens and preteens with teen celebs singing in original movies made the decom its own distinctive thing. Yeah, decom was a genre. They were an event. I remember where I was when I first watched Radio Rebel.
Oh,
I remember where I was, where I first laid my eyes on the classic that is the Princess Protection Program. And let me just say, Disney Plus is one of the greatest things that ever happened to me because I can watch them all on demand. When I'm really hungover,
oh yeah.
the only thing that will get me through is a decom. The amount of times I've watched Monte Carlo, which I know technically isn't a decom, but it feels like a decom, hungover is outstanding. Great work, ladies. Nearly all of these movies were hits. In fact, by the time that 2013's Teen Beach Movie became the second highest rated cable original movie ever. Numerous decoms were among the top 10 in the listings. The actual number from Teen Beach Movie shows just how expert Disney had become in gifting fans with genre-savvy films full of deliberate camp following High School Musical's success. Arguably, High School Musical's largest legacy has been its impact on modern musical. It helped usher in an era of unironic love for musical theatre and a new approach of integrating musicals into the mainstream. It is not lost on me that if I pull up our mini timeline that we have somehow made of musical theatre,
Uh-oh.
Spring Awakening and
Yeah.
Blonde are in 2007, which are two shows, especially Spring Awakening, which were propelled to where they were by teenagers and the
Yeah.
internet and an interest in musicals. I mean, I was flicking through to try and get back to here after I had to reload the page because internet issues. And I was reading a bit of the Legally Blonde one, and they were talking about how the model of broadcasting a musical of High School Musical kind of gave MTV the idea to broadcast Legally Blonde.
Hmm.
Oh, 13 the musical.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it helped Star Kid.
Oh, definitely.
I'm so sure. Um with them yes. So in 2007 alone, there was a string of popular movie musicals capitalizing on the moment, like Hairspray. I'm going to talk about Hairspray again in a moment. I need to talk about it. Disney's new Enchanted, Once, and Sweeney Todd, all dripping in self-commentary of their own respective genre and tropes. This trend continued into the 2010s with ongoing lineup of regular movie musicals from Les Mis to Into the Woods to the upcoming Steven Spielberg-directed West Side Story remake. This was in 2019. Eventually expanded into a recent hit or miss of the popular tradition of live stage musical performances. A High School Musical, we wouldn't have Glee or Smash.
Only.
I fucking love High School Musical so much. They've given me so much good content. All Pitch Perfect. Round of applause for High School Musical. It paved the way for the success of Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Seeing that written out, I was like, oh god. I don't actually know too much about it. I just know people really love it or used to really love it. These were all works which were popular, derived in part from the fans of being in on the joke or on how cool it was to like musicals or singing groups. Thus, ironically, making it okay for musicals and singing groups to become cool again. In the years since, mixing and matter and musicals has given us integrated musical performances, everything from the Coen Brothers films to satires to Crazy Ex-Girlfriend's entire existence. I love Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. High School Musical arguably led to the jaw-dropping successful careers of Hudgens, Efron, Lovato, Gomez, the Jonas Brothers, a pretty jaw-dropping litany of pop idols. To leave out the internet, High School Musical gave us a litany of beloved memes and references. I mean, 10 years later, Trisha Paytas is going to the exact same resort Better it was filmed at.
Yeah.
And filming an exact one-for-one remake that we still talk about to this day. To Sharpay and Ryan doing basically anything. Also, we just talked about the fact that there's still an ongoing conspiracy theory that Ryan and Chad fucked. The series musical
They
numbers...
did. It's not a conspiracy. They did fuck. They just did.
Until
You
Kenny...
don't just swap clothes with your mate for no reason.
Oh.
They fucked.
Oh God. Um, it was parodied throughout pop culture from Mad TV sketch to South Park to a rare Disney sanctioned YouTube riff to this, the In the Heights promo Lin-Manuel Miranda did. I don't know why we don't talk about it all the time. Again, In the Heights probably benefited from that some and Vanessa Hudgens would go and start a production of it in 2018, I want to say, with Anthony Ross. Um, this was the part that made me cackle. There is even a Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode built around the entire stage production of High School Musical. In many ways, what seems to serve as a template for the current High School Musical series, somehow combining a double reference to Singing in the Rain whilst High School Musical roping in Tisdale for some meta casting, and they included the video.
Any thoughts on Singing in the Rain, Esme?
My friend Martha really wants to watch it, so I probably will watch it when exams are done. Do you have any
You're
thoughts
gonna love it. I love Singing in the Rain. I
We don't.
really, really love Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about what Singing in the Rain actually is
Nope. And we're not
on this
allowed to.
podcast. Is it in our review of Hadestown?
Uh,
That is gonna. I need you to keep in that me asking if what Singing in the Rain is about is in our review of Hadestown. That needs to stay in because that sounds batshit insane.
and the issue is I know exactly what you mean.
I made a great joke about Singing in the Rain while we were watching Hadestown.
Speaking of music, High School Musical the series,
High School Musical the musical series.
High School Musical the musical the series became its own sensation in its own right, giving us Olivia Rodrigo. Could argue she
Icon.
was already on that path anyway. No. I say it was Power of High School Musical. Um, the teams got really into Hairspray the next year, starring our boy Zac Efron, fresh off of singing lessons, allegedly. Nikki Blonsky, of Nikki Blonsky from the Nikki Blonsky from the movie Hairspray, and comedy legend We Should All Leave Alone, Amanda Bynes. Thank you for your service, Amanda. Okay, this is what was interesting to look at, and I kind of knew this was a thing because I was listening to a retrospective once about Taylor Swift's debut, Taylor Swift, and in the podcast episode, they said it's interesting to look at what was popular in the year before, the years after, like 2 years after the debut came out. Because what's on there is, for the first time in history, really, a lot of stuff aimed and made for teens and tweens in a way that it hadn't normally been done before, if that makes sense. And so when I was putting this together, I was like, let me see where High School Musical is, you know? It was at number 2. The next year, when the second one came out, the first one dropped down to 50, and the next one dropped, and then that one was number 3. Should I tell you what was number 2?
What?
Hannah Montana.
Icon.
Then what was and then Taylor Swift debut was up there as well. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Swiftie. I'm saying that because it was music aimed at teenage girls in the same way High School Musical and Hannah Montana was. You know? It really gave me something to think about. But unfortunately now all I'm thinking about is Nikki Blonsky's cameos. Yeah.
I love High School Musical.
I don't feel like we're ever gonna I think it's still got some life left in it somehow, High School Musical.
Oh yeah.
As much as I think Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens would like us all to stop talking about High School Musical.
We never will. I reckon we should Dance Moms drinking game. I think we should make a new one and rewatch High School Musical. Me and Esme had a really fun Dance Moms drinking game about 2 years ago. And I don't remember much of the night, if I'm being honest.
We got bored, ordered McDonald's, and listened to
we did. We were really drunk. We were really drunk.
I had new speakers.
Yeah.
So it
was a big night for us.
On them. Shout out to Dance Moms, JJ Siwa, You and the Big Brother House is entertaining. She's coming across very well.
Apparently she's not right now.
I only watched the first week.
People are saying she's cheating on her partner.
Oh!
But she's kind of being groomed.
Yeah, the whole dynamic between her and Chris when I was watching just was like really buddy. So like friends. And so I was like, why is Chris Hughes from Love Island now friends with JoJo Siwa? This is really weird. And since then it's got weirder.
I actually just realized I don't think I can talk about Big Brother because it'll make me start thinking of my dissertation.
Okay, that's fair. Tony Awards, next week we're gonna be talking about them and whatever nonsense goes along with it. Are we gonna live react again this year?
Depends what time.
Is that 1 p.m.?
On a Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna live react? Cool.
I'm gonna be so stressed.
We could literally record for like we could I'm gonna take a moment, then we can talk about this. Um anyway, we'll do next week Tony Awards. Again, I'm manifesting Grace Hodgett Young. Maybe
Tammy Faye, best lighting.
maybe happy ending sweep, John Proctor sweep, O'Mary sweep, Operation Mincemeat 5 noms. Those are my predictions. Anyway. Nicole and Audra Bassler out officially
Oh yeah,
next week.
that'll be
Best
fun.
feature, best lead actress. One thing I would like to see on that, I like everyone to keep in their minds. The category might expand.
Yeah,
Remember last year how there was like 7 featured actresses?
yeah.
I could see something similar happening this year for best lead actress. Rooting for our boy Jack Malone. Anyway, bye bye.